Hello there and a very good evening. You're watching Primetime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. For Newsfirst, where the people come first, I am Rochelle Prabodra. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Death toll from Myanmar earthquake surpasses 1,000. Aftershocks experienced even today. No Sri Lankans affected. Sri Lankan Embassy confirms Mahasangha to establish aid program to support earthquake victims in Myanmar and Thailand. Ready to take stern action against fraudsters and corrupt figures. An assurance from the President. Rajalunu, locally manufactured table salt, enters the market from today. Sri Lanka's Ransilu Jayatilaka wins gold at Asia Pacific Powerlifting Championships.
On to your top story for tonight. The Sri Lankan Embassy in Myanmar has confirmed that the 15 Sri Lankans rescued from cybercrime camps in the country have not faced any harm by the earthquake in Myanmar yesterday. According to the embassy, no other Sri Lankan nationals have been affected by the earthquake either. Meanwhile, the powerful earthquake that struck several regions in Myanmar, Thailand and China has claimed over 1,000 lives. According to current reports, more than 2,300 people have been injured while 30 others remain missing.
A powerful earthquake measuring 7.7 on the Richter scale struck near the city of Sagaing in Myanmar yesterday afternoon, causing extensive damage to Mandalay, the country's second largest city. According to reports, nearly 30 aftershocks have been recorded by this evening following the main tremor. The United States Geological Survey's automated pager system has estimated that the death toll from the quake could exceed 10,000. However, this figure remains a preliminary estimate based on the intensity of the quake, population density and other impact-related factors. This automated system allows for rapid assessment of the affected areas and provides vital information for emergency responders, government agencies and media on the potential scale of the disaster. The earthquake is now considered the strongest to strike Myanmar in over a century. Numerous buildings in Myanmar have collapsed as a result of the tremor. Preliminary assessments indicate that around 1,591 homes in the Mandalay region have been damaged. Meanwhile, in Bangkok, Thailand, 15 individuals believed to be trapped under the rubble of a collapsed building are reportedly still alive. Rescue teams have managed to establish communication with several survivors trapped under the debris of the 10-story building and are working to bring them to safety. The partially constructed building had over 400 workers on site yesterday morning, but only around 300 have been accounted for so far. Some of the missing workers are believed to be Myanmar nationals. Meanwhile, in the Kyoske area, the bodies of 12 preschool children and a female teacher have been recovered from the rubble of a collapsed building. According to unconfirmed reports, around 50 children and 6 teachers are believed to be missing following the building collapse. A member of a rescue team operating near Mandalay, the epicenter of the earthquake, told BBC News that the destruction is quote-unquote immense and that rescue workers are manually digging through the debris in search of survivors. Bodies of the deceased have now been collected in the city, while hospitals are reportedly overwhelmed with the injured. Due to the risk of aftershocks, some patients are being treated outside hospital buildings. A disaster relief team from China, comprising 37 members, has also arrived in Myanmar to support ongoing rescue operations. Meanwhile, Myanmar's military junta has issued a rare international appeal for assistance. The BBC described this as an unusual move by an isolated regime that has faced strong Western sanctions in recent years. The appeal was made by junta leader Min Aung Hlaing, who stated via state television that, quote-unquote, all channels for foreign aid are now open.
ချို့နေရာတွေမှာလည်းတိုက်တွေပြိုကျတဲ့ကြောင့်ဒီတိုက်တွေကိုလည်းပြန်ပြီးတော့မှဆက်တဲ့လုပ်ငန်းတွေကျွန်တော်လုပ်နေစေဖြစ်ပါကျွန်တော်ကိုယ်တိုင်လည်း
India has begun sending relief aid to the areas in Myanmar affected by the earthquake. A 15-ton consignment was dispatched this morning containing tents, sanitation supplies, food, water purification units, power generators and essential medicines.
මේ භූමිකම්පාව මැන්ඩලේ සිට ටවුන්ගූ දක්වා තමයි විහිද ගිහිලා තිබෙන්නේ මැග්වේ කියන ඒරියා එක බැගෑන් කියන ඒරියා එක.
This earthquake has spread from Mandalay to Taungoo. The Magwe area, Bagan, Taungoo, Sagain, Amarapura, Taungi and several other areas have been impacted. Most of the destruction was witnessed in Amarapura and Sagain areas. Around 25 religious places of worship have been affected as well. Communication and transportation facilities have been impacted.
සමහර දුරකථන ජාලා සමග සම්බන්ධ වීමට ගොඩක් අමාරුයි. Transportation ප්‍රශ්න ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Meanwhile, the earthquake in Myanmar also affected Bangkok, Thailand, located over 1,000 kilometers away from the epicenter in Sagaing. At least 10 people have been reported dead in Bangkok, with over 100 individuals still missing as rescue operations continue. Due to the risk of aftershocks, hospital patients in Bangkok have been moved to safer areas. In a dramatic incident, reports have emerged of a pregnant woman giving birth to a child on the streets of Bangkok as the earthquake struck. How did the earthquake affect other neighboring countries? In China, the quake reached the Yunnan province, while areas in India, including Kolkata and Manipur, and parts of Vietnam and Bangladesh, have also reported tremors from the disaster.
Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Amarapura sect and Sri Lanka Ramana sect have jointly decided to launch a program to provide assistance from the Sri Lankan public to those affected by the earthquake. A special media briefing was held this evening at the headquarters of the Ramanya sect situated in Narahempita.
සඳුදා ඉඳලා කොළඹ නගරය අවටනම්
We will establish collection centers in 4 locations from Monday onwards. They will be the Sri Lanka Amarapura Sangha Sabha office in Vallavatta, the headquarters of the Ramanya sect in Narahempita, All Ceylon Buddhist Congress in Bauda Lokamawata and the YMBA in Buralla. We will also name temples situated across the country to collect required goods. The list of goods will be published soon.
ඉදිරියේදී අපි අවශ්‍ය කරන ද්‍රව්‍යමය නාමලේඛනයක් ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා.
A religious ceremony to invoke blessings on the victims has been organized at the Kaluthara Bodhi tree, commonly known as the Kaluthara Bodhiya, on the 3rd of April.
අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ 3 වෙනිදා කළුතර
At 6 p.m. on the 3rd of April, a special puja will be held to bless those who fell prey to this earthquake and for those who are currently affected by it.
ලා ඉන්න ජනතාවට අපි ආශිර්වාද කරන්නට මහ පිංකමක් පවත්වනවා.
The local government election Sri Lanka 2025.
President Andrukumara Dissanayake says that he is ready to take strict action against fraudsters and corrupt individuals. He expressed his views at a public rally held in Beliatta today.
The National People's Power held its Beliatta rally this afternoon, led by the party leader President Andrukumara Dissanayake.
පේනවනේ දැන් කරන්නේ වනේ බය වෙන්න එපා පොඩි අපි මේ වංචනිකයන්ට දූෂිතයන්ට එරෙහිව අපි හැප්පෙන්න දැස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ කුමන කුමන්ත්‍රණ කරත් කුමන විදිහට යටි
We are ready to take on fraudsters and corrupt individuals. Whatever conspiracies they are involved in, they will be punished. We have appointed suitable officials to the CID. They are conducting their duties efficiently. The AG's department is examining cases. Indictments will be served and cases will be filed at high courts. Cases will be filed over the next 1 to 2 months over several matters that gave rise to much controversy in the past. What do we need to do? Inquire into it and file a case at the High Court. We don't have the jurisdiction to imprison anyone. The judiciary must decide that. Certain judges are recusing themselves from cases when they are being filed. Let's see why that is. there may be reasons for them to do so. We know that judges will execute their duties well and give prudent judgments on all cases. No one in Sri Lanka thought the IGP would be remanded. Was that because most IGPs were honest and dutiful? There were some who bought homes from Velesuda. We will launch investigations despite the significance of a case. What happened to Deshabandhu is a result of the IGP deviating from fulfilling his duties and serving to please the political establishment. We expect judges to serve justice fairly and support us to maintain peace. We will not direct police officers for political means. They have been liberated. In the past, before someone was arrested, their political party was reviewed. If they were from the ruling party, they would not be arrested. To create a nation that is truly free, we must allow them to perform their duties freely. Honest officials are working at the CID today. Much will unfold in the future. Wait and see. Those who are intimidated the most are the ones who make the loudest noise. The cat is already out of the bag in some cases. They foresee their arrest. Remember, this isn't a hasty process. Officials from across all departments are conducting investigations prudently. Strong legal cases will be filed in courts. The case will be examined and convictions will be handed down. 3 former ministers and the IGP are in remand. In a few days, they will be able to convene parliament within prison walls. This needs to be done. When we dig deep, we realize how much the funds of the public have been wasted. Many institutions are in shambles. They were merely existing. No maintenance has been done to the country. The more we see it, the more we are urged to punish wrongdoers. We will also establish a rule within Pradeshya Sabhas where they will not be left to run haplessly while funds are carefully utilized. All of us need to come together to do it.
ප්‍රාදේශ සභාවල නැවත එවැනි කණේ පාලනයක් ඇති වෙන්න පිට දෙන්නේ නැතුව ඊටම පිරිසුදු මුදල් ටික ඉතා හොඳින් පරිස්සම් කරන ගමේ වැඩේ කරන්න තමයි පාලනය අපි හදන්නේ. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි හැමදෙනාම එකතු වෙන්න.
On to more updates from the local government elections. The Mathura District Executive Committee meeting of the Sri Lanka People's Front was held today, focusing on preparations for the upcoming local government elections.
The meeting was attended by the national organizer of the SLPP, Namal Rajapaksa, district leader Lakshman Yapa Bewardhana, former speaker Mahinda Yapa Bewardhana and several others. The political parties that have been in power for the past 76 years, claiming to serve the people, have in fact destroyed this country through deception and corruption. We are putting an end to this corruption. It is being made public that the vehicles used by MPs along with their houses and official residences played a major role in the destruction of the country's economy. It is that very publicization that led to the destruction of this country. I am truly happy from the bottom of my heart that the NPP came to power. From this point onwards, no one will ever be willing to hand over this country to a leftist party after these 5 years. We have always stated what we can achieve and what we cannot. We have never resorted to slander, nor did we gain anything from it. We have always believed that while safeguarding the unity of this country, every single Gramanilidari division must be developed. We say this with responsibility. With the strength and support you provide from your village, we believe that before long, it will be possible to once again establish a government that firmly stands on this land. We have confidence that you, led by the SLPP, have the ability to make it happen. A group of female candidates from the United National Party contesting for the Kurunegala Municipal Council held a media conference in Kurunegala today.
In this election, the people have a choice to make. Will they hand over power to those who keep on digging the dirt, or will they place their trust in a new group like us, committed to cleaning it up? There is only one clear answer. Absolutely not. We will not support anyone linked to fraud or corruption. We would rather stand with this government and contribute to their clean-up campaign.
Newsfirst. main sponsor.
Tokyo Super, Super.
Welcome back to the news. The families of the disappeared organization held a media briefing in Colombo yesterday.
1988 90 කාලවකවානුව තුළ අපි දන්නවා ගම්පා දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ බියගම කැලණිය වගේ ආසනවල මර්ධනය බාර දීලා තිබුණේ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ. ඒ වගේම ලංකාවේ විවිධ ප්‍රදේශ.
During the 1988 to 1990 period, we know that the repression in areas like Biyagama and Kalaniya in the Gampaha district was handled by Ranil Wickramasinghe. Similarly, there were several other detention camps across different parts of Sri Lanka. 18 camps have been discovered in Matale alone. In 2012, a group of dead bodies were discovered at the Matale District Hospital. 155 bones were unearthed. A judicial medical investigation and judicial archaeology examination have concluded that the location in question is indeed a crime scene. The report from the judicial medical examination clearly states that the site does not appear to be a traditional burial ground, but rather one where bodies were concealed. The skeletal remains show signs of fractures caused by sharp weapons and firearms, indicating violent deaths. Further observations reveal that the separation of the skull from the body and other body parts suggests these remains were not placed for ritualistic or ceremonial purposes, but rather signs of criminal activity. The remains discovered indicates that the bodies were unlawfully disposed of without the knowledge of the victims' families. Mahinda Rajapaksa, during his presidency, appointed a presidential committee and swept this under the rug. The reason being his brother Gotabaya Rajapaksa serving as the military coordinator for Matale during 89 and 90.
රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපති කොමිෂන් සභාවක් පත් කරලා මේ වැඩේ යට ගන්න. මොකද ඒකට හේතුව තමයි මේ 89 90 කාලවකවානුව තුල මාතලේ දිස්ත්‍රික් බාර හමුදා සම්බන්ධීකාර නිලධාරිවරයාව සිටියේ ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ වන ඔහුගේ සහෝදරයා වීම.
තව දවසක මාව ෆලෝ කරලා දෙපැත්තෙන් වාහන ඇවිල්ලා කුදලගෙන ඇරයි යනවා. ඇස් බැඳලා. ඌම්බියන්ගොඩ විහාරස්ථානයේ එහා පැත්තේ තියෙන වදක කඳවුරේ තියෙන මර ලතෝනි හඬවල් තමයි නිකුත් උනේ. ඇස් ලිහිබුවට පස්සේ මගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න පටන් ගත්තා. එතන මම දැක්කා එවකට.
One day I was followed, abducted and my eyes were covered. I used to hear the volus of pain which came from the torture chamber next to the Kumyangoda temple. When my eyes were uncovered, I was interrogated. I saw multiple accessories like metal rings, wires and irons used to torture people. I was taken to the Gunasena hall of the Vijay Vidyalaya. My eyes were covered and thrown in a crowd of victims whose eyes were also covered. I was wrapped in a carpet and taken away again. When I was placed at a certain location, I quickly realized that it was the Matale rest house. A room at the rest house was infamously known as the Maskade or the meat shop. There is a strong odor emitting from that room. People whose limbs have been dismembered are placed in that room. A person named Amrasena, who was involved in politics in our village, was hung from his genitals. He was half dead. I was given a cleaver and asked to strike a person, but I didn't oblige. Then the executor named Lal chopped Amrasena's head off, then took my face close to his body and demanded that I drink his blood. At least 5 people died each night. Once they were killed, their bodies were chopped into pieces, collected in sacks and taken towards a mass grave near the hospital.
අපල දාගෙන අරයි යනවා. ඒකට පිටිපස්සෙන් තිබුණා අඩිපාරක් තිබුණා රෝහල පැත්තට. ඒ රෝහල පැත්තේ තමයි ඔය කියන සමූහ මිනිවල තියෙන්නේ. මම ස්ථිර වශයෙන්ම මම දන්නවා ඒ අරන් ගියේ එතෙන්ද කියලා.
Newsfirst with the people.
Every day, millions face the impossible. What happens when clean water feels out of reach? When an entire village is left helpless? When it seemed like no one is listening, Gammatha saw the need. Gammatha took action and a community fought back. A water purification system for a village that once had none. Gammatha, for the people, by the people.
Welcome back. This is Newsfirst Primetime News. Continuing on more local news, a table salt factory affiliated with Lanka Salt Limited and associated with the Elephant Pass Saltner was declared open. The table salt factory was inaugurated by the Minister of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development, Sundil Hadunethi. The government's motive is to sell this salt at an affordable price. It is marketed under the brand name Rajalunu.
This is something the whole country can be happy about. As the first product of the government in its 5-month term, we have now presented the Elephant Pass Rajalunu table salt to the country. Comrade Anura had to take charge of the country at a time when the nation was in a situation where even salt had to be imported. That is the state the previous government has left the country in. Our hope is to produce enough salt to meet the needs of the people in the country and to add surplus production to export revenue, contributing to dollar earnings. On the other side of the Elephant Pass, we also have another section of the Kurinjathir section. We are hoping to start the Kurinjathir saltons as well. As for that, we have requested cabinet approval. In the future, we take it up as a challenge and a responsibility to ensure fair trade and to provide salt to the people of Sri Lanka at the lowest possible price through the National Salt Limited and Lanka Salt Limited.
The topic of India-Sri Lanka relations took center stage at an event in Colombo yesterday, organized by the Center for Law and Security Studies and the Indian CEO Forum, with the focus on the nature of economic, security and diplomatic perspectives.
Focusing on regional collaboration, the event organized by the Center for Law and Security Studies and the Indian CEO Forum brought together leading experts from India and Sri Lanka to discuss the evolving dynamics of India-Sri Lanka relations. India's Deputy High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Dr. Satyanjal Pandey, addressed the gathering, sharing key insights on the growing partnership between the two nations.
With the new government under the leadership of President Anura Kumar Dissanayake, we remain committed and open to continued discussions and reach an early conclusion on a reformed and forward-looking free trade agreement. Our ambition is not deterred by the challenge of current geo-economic realities. And this stands as a unique contrast of optimism. What I wish to underline here is that Indian opportunity is as much exciting as we are exclusively patient to our neighbors' needs, driven by our neighborhood first policy. What it awaits is the confluence with fair tidings of regional partnerships.
The forum, featuring leading scholars and policymakers, explored strategies and strengthened bilateral ties and addressed key challenges in trade, security and regional cooperation. The panel discussion focused on key aspects of India-Sri Lanka relations. The expert panel, which was moderated by Dr. Kulani Vijay Bahu, consisted of Dr. Nilantan Niruthan, the Director of the Center for Law and Security Studies, Shakti De Silva, Umesh Muramudali and Dr. Gulbin Sultana.
Actually, I think the test of any friendship, at the heart of any deepening friendship, is the economic connection between the two countries. And I'm very heartened to see that our economic partnership, both in terms of trade, tourism and investment, is deepening over the last year and a half. I think this bodes very well for the future trajectory of our relationship. And forums like this, the Indian CEOs Forum, the work that CLASS is doing, they are really what we call in Hindi in India, Sutradhar, the connectors, the living bridge which bring the two countries together, identify the issues that need to be solved for, and then create a congenial environment in which those issues can be solved for, and then the friendship can be deepened. Like I said in my remarks, India is on the road to being the global growth engine in the next 20-25 years, and it is in our shared interest that our neighbors, especially Sri Lanka, benefits from India's growth. That's the founding principle of our neighborhood first policy. We want our neighbors to benefit, the lives of their people to improve as a consequence of India's growth and India becoming a leading power.
The United Nations launched a campaign today with the aim of raising awareness about hate speech.
The United Nations launched a campaign today titled Undo Doesn't Work in Real Life, aimed at raising public awareness about social harmony, hate speech, misinformation and the impact of false information.
The rapid spread of falsehood amplified by social media and digital platforms. It has led to real-world consequences like violence, discrimination, and political instability, and the erosion of public trust in institutions. The danger of unchecked misinformation and hate spread may involve following consequences. Democratic disruption, it's a false news and disinformation campaigns have influenced elections, and it fuels political polarization and destabilization of the governments. Hate speech has fueled ethnic and religious conflicts. It leads to atrocities and humanitarian crises. As falsehoods spread, citizens lost their faith in journalism, science, and governance. It makes harder to unite against global challenges. In the face of these threats, we must all embrace the role of the responsible media consequences. The power to combat hate speech and misinformation does not rest solely with governments, tech companies, or journalism. It also lies in the hands of the people.
A pledge by the government, which is to repeal and replace the Online Safety Act. And so I think this is an important task for the government. The present Online Safety Act been developed without any consultation. But this law, at the end of the day, is not securing or protecting anybody. So it was presented and meant to protect children and women from online harm, but it does anything except this. And we believe that that law is causing and will cause more harm than good. We really need to work a lot harder to engage with internet companies, with platforms, globally, regionally, and we need them to take greater responsibility. We need them to invest a lot more in the prevention and of the amplification of harmful content. Many of you have mentioned the role of the media. Well, we believe media organizations have an especially important role to play. And we call on the Broadcasting Guild, the Editors Guild, to help raise the bar on the standards of accuracy, accountability, and ethical reporting, especially now that, as Asuza said, we're approaching elections.
The launch also saw the participation of the resident representative to UNDP in Sri Lanka, Azusa Kubota, and representative of UNICEF, Christian Skoog.
The Lester James Pieris and Sumitra Pieris Foundation celebrated the 90th birthday anniversary of the late Sumitra Pieris yesterday.
A tribute was paid to the late Sumitra Pieris by the Lester James Pieris and Sumitra Foundation in collaboration with the Alliance Française de Colombo yesterday.
Tonight, thanks to this screening, we have the opportunity to highlight Sri Lanka's rich cinematic history and the role of cinema in relation between our two countries, France and Sri Lanka. A film is shot to be screened. It's designed to be watched, not to remain on reels. This is why we intend to screen it to a wide audience in collaboration with the Lester James Pieris and Sumitra Pieris Foundation. Tonight, we are more than proud to preserve our legacy and to work together to protect and promote Sri Lanka's cinematic heritage. Cinema and art, crossing time, borders and people's sensibilities, are powerful tools for bringing our nations closer together. We still need to take care of them.
A special screening of Duata Mavaka Missa took place. It was attended by various stakeholders representing Sri Lanka's film industry.
Namini Vijayadasa, an award-winning Sri Lankan journalist with over 30 years of experience, has been named as a recipient of the U.S. Secretary of State's 2025 International Women of Courage Award.
Namini Vijayadasa began her career chronicling the human toll of Sri Lanka's civil conflict and giving voice to those affected by its aftermath. Over time, her focus shifted to combating corruption through investigative reporting, bringing critical accountability issues to the forefront and inspiring the next generation of journalists. On Tuesday, the 1st of April, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and First Lady Melania Trump will host the annual International Women of Courage Award ceremony at the Department of State. Now, in its 19th year, the Secretary of State's IWOC Award recognizes women from around the world who have demonstrated exceptional courage, strength and leadership, often at great personal risk and sacrifice. Since 2007, the Department of State has recognized more than 200 women from over 90 countries with the IWOC award. US diplomatic missions overseas nominate one woman of courage from their respective host countries, and finalists are selected and approved by senior department officials.
Today is day 3 of the Colombo Kamatha Festival.
The Colombo Kamatha Festival continued for the third day today.
Internet for Change නාට්‍ය වැඩමුළුවේ අවසන් නිෂ්පාදනයේ ලෙස මෙම සුරංගනා කතාවක් නොමැතිකම නිසා මෙම නාට්‍ය එලිමහන් රංගනයක් ලෙස නිෂ්පාදනය වූ අතර එහි අන්තර්ගතය මාස.
The festival burst into life with a dazzling display of vibrant colors, captivating every eye and filling the air with energy and joy.
In the heart of Anamadua, lives are changing. For years, patients travelled miles for life-saving treatments, but not anymore. Gammatha renovated a building to establish a dialysis unit at the Anamadua Base Hospital and constructed another building to house a medical-grade water purification system. Gammatha, for the people, by the people.
Welcome back. This is Newsfirst Primetime News. The 21st edition of the Raigam Tellies Awards was held in Colombo today, where Newsfirst, Sirasa TV, Shakti TV and TV1 received multiple accolades.
The 2024 Raigam Tellies Award ceremony commenced this evening with the participation of a large number of representatives from the media industry. Imesh Sutherland of Newsfirst received the Special Appreciation Award by the jury for the program The Living Legends, aired on Sirasa TV. Shakti TV's Christina Ratnam won the award for Best Tamil News Presenter of the Year. Teruni Karunaratne of TV1 was named the Best English News Anchor of the Year. Naveksha Gunasekara of TV1 won the award for Best English Television Presenter of the Year. Sri Lanka's Got Talent, broadcast on Sirasa TV, produced by Danesh Uppul and Susantha Seniviratna, was awarded Most Creative Television Program. Superheroes on Sirasa TV won the award for Most Creative Reality Television Program of the Year.
Up next is Corporate Brief.
Unilever Sri Lanka and the Industrial Development Board of the Ministry of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development handed over the second round of financing to 10 female micro-entrepreneurs. Tilaka Jayasundara, Secretary of the Ministry of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development, also attended the ceremony.
Ramsilu Jayatilaka of Sri Lanka won a gold medal at the 2025 Asian Pacific Powerlifting Championships.
This year's Asia Pacific Powerlifting Championships are being held in Melbourne, Australia. Ramsilu Jayatilaka competed in the 120 kg weight category and secured a gold medal in the event. This marks the third time he has claimed a gold medal in this competition.
world number 2 world number 2.
The Australian athlete was the world number 1, and it was a big competition because there were many top contenders from countries like Fiji, New Zealand and Samoa. Because of some conditions, I had a minor injury. I was unable to showcase my usual skills in the deadlift event, but I managed to break the record in the squat event. Unfortunately, I did not receive any support from the authorities. I competed alone without a coach or manager, and I had to find my own sponsors. Additionally, there are 2 junior athletes and 1 senior athlete with me. I am looking forward to achieving victory in future competitions alongside them. This year's Asia Pacific Powerlifting Championships is set to conclude tomorrow.
How attractive is this small country of ours? But how much attention have the beautiful, historic and scientifically significant places in our country garnered from both local and international tourists? Our effort is to bring those places which have not yet attracted such attention closer to you. Tonight we end our bulletin with yet another segment of beautiful Sri Lanka. Good night.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Today, we bring to you details about a natural swimming pool in the Monaragala district which many people may not know about. The Galloya, flowing down from the Dorapoda mountain, creates a beautiful small waterfall in Bibila near Upper Kotagama. This is known as the Galloya waterfall. It is located 10 kilometers from the Bibila town. The people in the area also refer to this as the power plant. At the lower section of the waterfall, water has accumulated in a small, shallow pool resembling a pond. The water from the Dorapoda mountain flows down from the Galloya and pours into the Senanayaka Samudra. Along the way, it nourishes thousands of acres of paddy fields. It is difficult to put into words the sense of relief that visitors experience both for the body and the mind when they view the waterfall amidst the beautiful, lush paddy fields. So, don't forget to visit this extraordinary location. When you visit this waterfall, you can also visit numerous natural sites along the Bibila Ampara Road, including the Nilgala Forest Reserve, the Bibila Chenkaladi Road and the Mahaoya Hot Springs.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.